ready to position your agency for explosive growth this year? Setting goals and KPIs isn't just about dreaming big. It's about creating a roadmap for measurable, sustainable success. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to set strategic goals and track the right KPIs to scale your agency to new heights in 2025. I'm also going to be diving deep into how to leverage technology like AI and project management tools to make sure you're setting yourself and your team up for success by putting the systems in place that you need to succeed. So if you're ready to elevate your agency this year, make sure you take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any other strategies and tips for scaling your business with systems this year. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to stay updated on our latest content. We're going to be diving deep into advanced growth tactics really throughout this whole year. So make sure to stay in the loop. And with that, let's dive in. So I am breaking out my handy dandy slides today because today is actually going to be less of here's exactly how you do this in a specific tool. Of course, I'm going to touch on that at the very end, but it's more about how to actually set and frame your goals in a way that you actually achieve them and can make progress towards them. So there are 3 key pieces to setting goals that your agency will actually reach. I'm going to dive into each of them, but first going through what they actually are. Number 1 is setting the right goals. It sounds very simple, but it's true. Goals that align with your agency's growth are so important, not just the vanity metrics, right? I can, set a goal that I'm going to make $1 million tomorrow. And is that actually going to happen? Am I set up to actually make $1 million tomorrow? Some companies are, but you have to make sure that your goals actually align with where you're headed. Number 2 is actually breaking your goals down. So I'm actually going to show you how to leverage AI in this tutorial to create an action plan that you and your team can execute. And number 3, how can you actually track and manage your goals? So of course, I'm going to show you how to use my favorite project management tool, ClickUp, to ensure your goals stay front and center all year long. Now, if you're watching this tutorial and you're not a ClickUp user, no problem. You can absolutely take the tips that I'm going to show you and put it into your project management tool. But like I mentioned, this tutorial is really to go through how to set goals that you can actually achieve. So let's dive right into step number 1, setting the right goals. So most companies, what the issue is that they set vague and high-level goals that look like increase revenue, improve client retention, or grow the team, right? You also see all these different gurus out there that 100%. I love the gurus too, and they definitely have valuable things to teach on. They can absolutely hype you up to hit your goals, but you can't just follow their lifestyle and instantly get what they have. You need to be realistic. You need to be clear. So these aren't goals, right? Increase revenue, improve client retention, grow the team. These are outcomes. So the key is to actually set clear and measurable goals that tie directly to your agency's operations. So remember, when people are like, do you want to lose 20 pounds? Do you want to become a millionaire, etc.? They're talking about outcomes. We need to focus on the actual goals to get there. So here's how you're going to do it. Number 1 is specific data-driven targets. So instead of increase revenue, you're now going to shift that to set a goal more like grow monthly recurring revenue by 20% by Q3 by focusing on higher value retainers, okay? So I want my monthly recurring revenue, the money I'm making each month, I want it to bump up by 20% in Q3 because I'm going to focus on increasing the value of the clients that I'm bringing in and they're going to be paying me more money. Number 2, set leading and lagging KPIs. So make sure that you are tracking the early indicators of success, lead conversion rates, proposal close rates, right? Before you see revenue results. So if you're not making the data-driven decisions, if you're not gathering the data and seeing the KPIs, right? Yeah, you can look at the one number of how much money I'm making, but if you don't look at, okay, how many leads am I actually getting in the door? Am I closing, 50, 60% of them or only 10% of them? So you might think that the issue is you need more leads, but there may be key things that you could shift inside your sales funnel that will increase your revenue, because maybe when the lead comes in the door, you're not nurturing them enough to close them. And number 3, ensure every goal has a clear owner. Goals die when no one is directly responsible for them. So every single goal should have a department or leader accountable for making it happen. If you are the only person in your business, that person is you. But if you have multiple people, do not feel like all the goals have to lay on your shoulders. You want to make sure that there's a team effort and everyone has their role in this goal that you want to achieve as a company. All right, so that is step number 1, setting the actual realistic goals. Step number 2 is breaking goals into actionable steps using AI. I truly don't know how I've ever lived a day without AI in my business. Honestly, it just helps you, right? You can think of the goals that you're trying to reach and where you want your company to go, and you can utilize AI to help you gain clarity and break these down into actionable steps. So here's where most agencies get stuck. Even when you set the right goals, they often feel too big to take action on. So that's where AI can help. Instead of manually breaking down the goals into projects, tasks, and assignments, you can use AI-powered tools to generate step-by-step action plans. So you can input your goal like grow monthly recurring revenue by 20% in Q3, and AI can suggest projects like optimize proposal workflows, improve lead nurture sequences, and launch a client upsell campaign. Now, mind you, it can definitely help with actually generating the step-by-step, but then you can even feed it your existing materials, your whole entire, nurture sequence, and be like, please analyze this from a marketing perspective and tell me how I can improve it. So not only can it help you actually set the goals, but it can help you achieve them as well. That's a story for another day. Anyway, moving on, it can then assign work based on skills and availability. So this can ensure the right task or the right team members without overloading anyone. And then lastly is identifying the potential roadblocks. So AI can analyze historical data, highlight bottlenecks before they happen, like where past growth initiatives have stalled, as well as feeding it this information, right? AI has memory. So as you're going through and consistently using this on the day-to-day basis, maybe I just used it to hire for a new role. Now that it has that information, it could say, okay, now that you just hired this person, here's where they can step in. So I'm also going to show you where in this prompt that I'm going to feed ChatGPT, I'm going to identify some potential roadblocks, and it can help me work through those and the risks and things like that. So let's go ahead. I want to show you a tangible example of how to set these goals from scratch. So let's dive in. I'm starting blank here with ChatGPT, and I want to go ahead and actually start from the beginning of the goal setting process. You may already be 5 steps ahead of this and know your specific goals for this quarter. Feel free to put those in. But if you're someone that's like, okay, I know the vision for my life and my business, but I don't really know how to break that into the next 3 months, we're going to start from there. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in a prompt about what my general goal is for the year. And then it's going to help me break that down into my quarter 1 goals. Okay, so let me go ahead and read this to you. I'm an agency owner looking to scale my agency and double my revenue this year. I have a strong marketing channel being YouTube and supporting channels like email marketing, blog, Instagram, and LinkedIn. My goal is to continue growing our services and team while me as a CEO stepping more and more out of the day-to-day work. Help me break down the year into 3 main goals per quarter. For context, here is my team roles. Here are my team roles, and then I wrote them down here. I'm going to go ahead and let's see what it gives us. Okay, so this gave a fabulous plan. Now, there are definitely times where AI doesn't get it 100% right, and you may need to guide it in the right direction and be like, for example, I already hired and trained the key roles, or blah, 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 whatever that may look like. So it says Q1, foundation and team expansion, Q2, offer expansion and marketing, Q3, scaling sales and client, Q4, full CEO transition. So now what I can do is be like, great, I can bring these into my tracker, and now I want to get granular. So yes, you can put these in your tracker right away, but obviously as you go through the year, things may get delayed, new things might come up that are higher priority. So you also want to make sure that you don't cling to these too tightly. Give yourself the overview of what the year looks like, but then really dive deep as you do your quarterly planning for each quarter and make sure that you're adjusting where necessary. So now I'm going to be like, great. Now please help me break down the Q1 goals into KPIs and action items while assigning specific pieces to our current team. Give us deadlines for each action item and KPI. You can also say to AI, if you need more details, please let me know. Perfect. Okay, let's see what it gives us. And look how beautiful this is. So it broke down each main goal into 3 KPIs and then the action items associated. So here you can see it gave us this amazing chart for all of them, giving the assigned to and the deadlines, and then said by the end of Q1, you should have key hires in place, automations reducing workload, and a stronger sales funnel driving more conversions. Fantastic chef's kiss. Now, the thing that I do want to refine about this is I want the action items and deadlines to refer and group under a specific KPI. So I'm actually going to go ahead and say that. So I said, looks great, but please group the action items under their corresponding KPI. Also something, I don't know about you guys, but do you say please and thank you to your AI? Because I do. I don't know why. I just feel like it's going to be a better outcome for me, even though I know it's not the truth. Okay, so now you'll see here's the specific KPI, the goal, and then the action items underneath. So I will let this run its course, and there you have it. Okay, so now that we have the actual step-by-step goals, KPIs, and action items, let's move on to step 3. Finally, moving on to step 3. Now that we have built the actual goals, KPIs, action items, risks, all of that, now I want to show you how to actually track and manage these goals in a project management tool. Today, I'm going to be using my favorite project management tool, ClickUp. Also, what I'm about to show you is our actual goal tracking template, which we have available in our shop and our template vault. So I'll make sure that is linked in the description below. So with that, let's dive in. All right, so now let's go ahead and take these goals and KPIs that have been mapped out and fill in the actual ClickUp tracker. So giving you the overarching what this tracker does and looks like. You can see here, you can view this by status or quarter. Let's jump into quarter, where you have the main goal for each quarter. You have the KPIs, the key results underneath, and then the action items underneath that. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to clear out this whole tracker, and I'm going to show you how to input these goals from scratch. So I'm going to start and bring in the main 3 goals for each quarter. Like I mentioned, I'm not going to fill out the Q2, 3, or 4 in detail. So here I'm just going to go ahead and add these and copy and paste. Okay, I'm going to go through. I'm going to pause this video and then come back when they're in. Okay, so now the 12 goals are in, and what I'm going to do is now assign them their individual quarters. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to add these, and then boom. If we go to the quarter view, now you're going to see them grouped by quarter. One other thing that I want to do is go ahead and I'm going to select all of these and change the task type to goal. So now these are showing up in my ClickUp as goals instead of tasks. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go through and actually flesh out these quarter 1 goals into the key results and then the action items. Now you're also going to want to put the departments for each of them. I have a whole entire YouTube video going through this tracker, so I'll make sure to link it in the description so you can review that. But also you can ask ChatGPT, okay, what department does this pertain to, etc., just like I asked it to assign different key team members. So now let's go ahead down to the bottom where it has mapped out my KPIs and my action items. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to flesh out all of these. I'm just going to build out one of these goals so you will get the idea. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll do the optimize and automate internal systems. All right, so KPI number 1 is 80% of internal processes documented and automated. So actually the way that this is worded, I would have worded it a little bit different. So here, instead of 80% of internal processes documented and automated, I would put, no, actually that's fine. I'll leave it like that for now. You could also do like automate and document 80% of internal processes. That's another way to say it. Okay, so then this is going to be the key result. So I'm going to go to the task type and I'm going to find key result. And then underneath this, I'm going to map out the action items. So here, I'm going to add action item 1, action item 2, and action item 3. Okay. From here, couple tips for you guys. I'm going to go into customize, and in the layout options, I'm going to wrap the text so they don't get hidden there. The other thing is if you try and add a subtask to this subtask, which is what they call nested subtasks, and you're not able to accomplish that, that is actually a ClickUp that needs to be turned on. So you can go to your quick action menu, go to ClickUps, and you can go to nested subtasks and choose how many subtask levels that you can go to. So in case you're hitting that roadblock, wanted to talk about that there. So then let's go ahead and let's assign the specific people here. So the 80% of internal processes documented, we want this done by March 31st. So we're going to put March 31st, and you can decide as well, when are you going to start on this? Is it March 1st? Is it, January 1st? This is going to span probably all of Q3. Let me go ahead and find January or Q1. My brain's thinking too far ahead. Okay, so then the 80%, so this conduct an internal audit done by COO and project manager by January 20th. So here, we're already past January. So this is going to be, So this is going to be, conduct early, January 20th. Then we have COO ClickUp implementer, January 25th. And then we have finalized SOPs by February 20th. So then you're going to assign the specific people. So number 1 is COO and project manager. Number 2 is COO and ClickUp implementer. And then number 3 is project manager. So now you'll be able to say, okay, is this not started? Is this in progress? Is it at risk, behind, postponed, complete, etc.? And now you are going to be able to granularly check, okay, what is the progress of these specific goals, KPIs, and action items as they progress. And now you're going to know exactly who is responsible for what. As a team effort, are you striving towards these goals? So this is a lot easier to be like, okay, are we making progress? Are we doing what we need to do? Yes or no, rather than just these vague, open-ended goals like we mentioned in the beginning. So I hope that brings clarity to how you can actually map out these goals in a project management tool. Now, the other thing as well is in terms of individual KPIs, in that other video that I mentioned in terms of goal tracking, you can then create individual lists just like this where the team member can see what just they are focusing on. You can also create different views as well to be able to see it as well. So for example, if I go ahead and I duplicate this view and I call it Andrea, so I do Andrea's 2025 KPIs, then what I could do is I can have the subtasks all as separate tasks. I can then filter out that the assignee includes Andrea. And now we can see just what Andrea is focusing on, but we also want to make sure that we're then going to show the parent task name as well. So if you go like this, then you're able to see, okay, Andrea is working on these for the 80% of internal processes documented and automated. So that is a lot of information there, but I hope that gave you the clarity and the tangible next steps into how you can then make this mapped out into your project management tool to actually track and manage your goals and make sure you are hitting the targets that you set out to hit. So to wrap up here, I want to highlight that when you combine clear goal setting, AI-powered execution, and seamless tracking in a project management tool or our fave, ClickUp, you're no longer just setting goals. You're building a system that drives growth. So I hope this video was inspiring to you. I hope it was helpful for you. I hope it gave you tangible next steps, especially with this AI aspect, that if you're feeling stuck, and I know that I have absolutely been here many, many times, because in my brain, when I set a goal that is too big, I can't think of the next 5 steps ahead of me, the next 3 months ahead of me. So that is where breaking them down into these tangible, bite-sized next steps is going to be the key to your success. And remember that no matter where you are in the year, this video is publishing February 2025. Whether you watch this right when it comes out, whether you watch it later on in the year, or maybe 2025 is long gone. No matter where you are, it is never too late to set your goals, to reach them, because today is the first day of the rest of your life. And there you have it. Now you know how to set effective goals and KPIs that will position your agency for growth this year. You know how to leverage technology and AI, implement clear systems, and make sure you are setting yourself and your team up for success to reach these goals and grow your company. Remember that success doesn't happen by chance, it happens by design. So that being said, if you're looking for tailored guidance on how to streamline your operations for your agency or your business, go ahead and visit our contact page. I'll make sure to link in the description below, and you can book a call with us today to map out your custom growth plan and systems for the year ahead. So cheers to a successful and strategic year ahead. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.